All right, let's talk about something really fascinating. We're looking at the story of Expo City Dubai. How do you take a place built for a massive 6-month global party and turn it into a real, permanent, honest-to-goodness city? It's a pretty wild experiment in building for the future. But to get there, we have to start with the big question that hangs over every city that hosts a mega event, whether it's the Olympics or a World Expo. After the last tourist goes home and the lights go out, what on earth do you do with everything you just built? Because historically, the answer to that question hasn't been great. So often, these incredible sites become what people call white elephants. They're these beautiful, super expensive buildings and parks that just sit there, empty, costing a ton of money to maintain and not really doing anything. They can become a huge weight on a city instead of a gift. So yeah, that's the big one, the post-Expo challenge. How do you avoid that trap? Well, from the very beginning, Dubai wasn't playing that game. The plan was never to just build a temporary spectacle. The whole idea was to use the Expo as a catalyst, as a launch pad for a brand new city, by reusing almost everything they built. Now, that's a nice vision, right? But did it actually pan out? Well, we don't have to guess. The numbers from just 1 year, 2025, give us a super clear answer. Let's look at the proof. In 2025, this place was the opposite of empty. It hosted more than 75 major events. We're talking everything from huge international summits to amazing cultural festivals. So right out of the gate, it wasn't a ghost town. It was a new global destination. And these weren't just small get-togethers. They had serious economic muscle. Get this, $9 billion. That's how much investment opportunity was created during just one of those events, the Asia-Pacific City Summit. So this shows it's not just a cool venue, it's a powerful economic hub. And speaking of that summit, it brought together over 150 mayors from all over the world. Think about that. This brand new city became the stage where leaders were talking about the future of their own cities, tackling huge issues together. All of this means Expo City very quickly became a huge player in what's called the MICE sector. That stands for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And that is a huge part of Dubai's whole strategy to bring in global business, smart people, and new investments. But a great city isn't just about work and conferences. And that's the really clever part about 2025's success. It was a mix. You had the big global summits, sure. But you also had cultural festivals, cool sustainability projects, and fun community events. You need all of it to create a place with a real soul. And let me give you a few examples so you can really picture it. There was the High Ramadan Festival, which was all about local Emirati culture. They opened the Jane Goodall Pollinator Garden, showing a real commitment to the environment. And things like Winter City, which brought in 38,000 people in its first week, or the sports events. That's what makes it a place for families and real life, not just for business suits. Okay, so that incredible energy from 2025, that wasn't just a one-year flash in the pan. It was just the foundation. Let's see how things are really starting to lock in for 2026 and beyond. And this is a really big deal. The city is moving beyond just hosting people to having them move in permanently. We're talking major global companies deciding that Expo City is the place they need to be to invent the future. A perfect example is Kerry Group. They're a huge global name in the food industry, and they're not just renting a small office. They're building a massive, cutting-edge innovation center right in the middle of Expo City's Green Innovation District. They're literally plugging themselves into this ecosystem of sustainability and new ideas. So you've got new businesses moving in, but what's also happening is that massive, established events are now packing their bags and moving to Expo City, because the facilities are just that good. Look no further than the World's Health Expo, which used to be known as Arab Health. I mean, this is one of the biggest healthcare conventions on the entire planet, and it is relocating to the Dubai Exhibition Center at Expo City. That one move is a huge vote of confidence. And they're not the only ones. Other titans like GI Techs are doing the same. But here it is, the most important step of all. In late 2026, the final transformation happens. The first apartments and townhouses will open, and people will actually start to live there. That's the moment a venue officially becomes a living, breathing city. So, you add all these pieces up, what do you actually have? Well, it's way more than just a successful project. It might just be a whole new blueprint for how we should be building cities in the first place. So here's the playbook, really. Step 1. Don't just build, repurpose. Have a long-term vision from day one. Step 2. Get global innovators to move in and anchor your economy. Step 3. Make it a place people love with culture and community events. And holding it all together, step 4. Make sustainability a non-negotiable part of everything you do. And this quote from one of the city's leaders just nails it, I think. He says it's about creating an environment designed to facilitate meaningful exchange. It's not about the concrete and steel. It's about creating a place where great things can happen between people. That's the magic formula. Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Instead of building cities the old way, from scratch, could this be a better model? Launching with a huge global moment and then carefully, thoughtfully turning that energy into a real sustainable community. Expo City Dubai is making a pretty strong argument that the answer is yes.